Okay, so just say something. I just want to make sure we sound good and our levels are about the same.
I like baked beans.
Do you like baked beans?
Yeah, baked beans. I like baked beans.
Baked beans.
Baked beans.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Relaxed Retro Talk. I am Dukey03.
I'm DG Online. It's good to see you. Well, not see you again. It's good for you to see us again.
I guess so. Uh, we it's been a while. Like I said, we kind of do these when we can, and B, when we have things to talk about. But we're gonna continue kind of on the path of what we started. I think it was 2 podcasts ago, where we were
Yeah.
like, it was like growing up with the NES, and then we did growing up with the Sega Master System.
We rented a Genesis. Yes,
Mhm.
I'm old. We rented a Genesis in a box from the video game movie shop
Yeah.
2, maybe 3 times for a week apiece. And that was the
Okay. Yeah.
closest I ever came to owning a Genesis. Outside of that, it was playing a game at a friend's house sometimes.
Yeah.
Or when it was on display at Walmart.
Right, right. So my with the SNES, all I had, well, I probably had more exposure to the SNES than you did Genesis because my auntie had a Super Nintendo and we were
I
over
think
at
the
their place all
Super
the time.
Nintendo seemed to be a little bit more like
Common,
it was
I
more
think.
likely that you would see a Super Nintendo in someone's
I think
house
so.
than a Genesis. Not nearly as much as you would have with the NES and the Master System. Like
Yeah, yeah.
if it would be like 2/3 Super Nintendo, 1/3 Genesis,
Yeah.
like 66% kind of thing,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, it'd be pretty close. But yeah, I'll start, I guess we'll start with Genesis just because it came out first. So, my first experiences with the Genesis, well, actually my absolute first experience with the Genesis was my mom's friends. They had like you know when you're like a kid and your mom just drags you to all her friends' place.
Yeah. Here,
So
play with my friends' kids.
yeah,
Shut up and
play with
stay in
my
the
friends'
basement.
kids and shut up and stay down there and don't bug me. So there was that, and the problem with this situation was her friends' kids were like probably almost like 10 years older than me, so they
Okay.
wanted nothing to do with me, right?
Of
Like,
course, of course.
but they had a Genesis, and the only games they had was for some reason I want to say ActRaiser. ActRaiser's not even on the Genesis. Fucking what's the one with the guy that's like turns into the Altered Beast? I think it is.
Altered Beast.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yep.
Where he turns into
Yep.
like the wolf and the
Yep.
dragon and stuff. So
Yep,
they had
that's the one.
Altered Beast, which kind of sucks. And but when
They're
you're a
not great.
kid, it was fine, I guess. But they also had the original Sonic the Hedgehog,
Mm.
which again, as an adult, I'm not a big fan of the original Sonic the Hedgehog. But as a kid, this was insane
So
compared to like Super Mario Brothers 3, right?
this is like an OG Genesis then, because
Yeah.
all the people that I knew who had a Genesis had Sonic 2. They did not have Sonic 1.
Okay, yeah, I had Sonic 2. Like, I was definitely one of the ones that didn't have the OG to start with. But it was like, yeah, the
Right.
one where it had like the headphone volume on the fucking the
Yeah,
slider.
yeah,
They
yeah.
had that, and then they had yeah, they had Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and I remember just like today, like I only really like Green Hill Zone in Sonic 1 cuz even
Yeah.
like Marble Garden Zone kind of sucks ass. Like it's just there's lava everywhere. You got to go
It's
super
just
slow
hard.
all the time and
Yeah.
there's everything explodes. So that was my experience, and I would just play the first level, I would play Green Hill Zone, and then I would play as far as I could get in Marble Hill, start over, and just keep doing that over and over again. And I was just like, man, Sonic is so fucking cool. But this was also in the time when video games were so hard that that's just what we did, you know? Like,
Yep.
you played the first level of a game so many
Yeah.
times. Like, Ninja Gaiden 2 on the NES. The amount of times I played, like, the first 2 or 3 stages over and over again as a kid, that's just how games were back then.
And that's how you got good at them. That's
Yeah,
how
it
when people
was.
were
Yeah,
like, "Look how awesome this guy is at the game," it's because that's the one game they got for that
year.
6-month period,
Yeah,
1 year, and they just literally played it because it was that or don't play.
yeah, exactly. And thankfully, I didn't have those parents that are like, "Well, you can't get your next game until you beat this one." They would
Oh
like,
yeah,
they would like joke about it sometimes, but it was like, I was like, "Oh God, please no," because I remember getting this. This actually falls on topic. I remember getting Contra Hardcore on the for the Genesis when I was a kid,
Yep.
and like, fuck me, I think it was like 2 years ago I finally beat that. I think it was me and Finney or something.
it's insane. That
It's
game's
so
insane.
hard. If anyone wants to play it, because it is a really good game, if you want to play it, get the Japanese version. There's an English patch. Because they did the whole, you know how like the rental services, the Japanese companies were like, oh, people are just gonna rent our games, so let's make them 10 times harder in the West.
Yeah,
So they did that with Contra Hardcore,
Contra Hardcore.
Contra Hardcore.
Contra.
So in the
Game
actual,
haunts me
in
even
the
in this life.
in the actual Contra.
Contra.
The actual Japanese version of the game, you have, I think you can take 3 hits before you die, before you lose a life.
Oh, okay.
Whereas in Contra Hardcore here, you every
That's
time
a
you get hit,
one-shotter.
yeah, you lose a life. So
Blade of Grass.
definitely a lot more possible. Yeah, like Super C where you got killed by a blade of grass.
A blade of grass.
Um,
That is actually a really good point. The a lot, and I know it's funny because a lot of the games, especially for the Genesis, I find are so hard, right?
Yeah.
Like I've just recently started jumping on board with the Genesis. I was challenging myself to play through the entire catalog. I've paused that for a bit, but every single game, their arcade, whatever repros, like it would be the arcade game, but on a home
yeah,
console.
yeah, like a home port of an arcade game kind of thing.
But they would keep the arcade difficulty, and so like you get touched the wrong way, and boom, you're dead. Like
Yeah.
poof, done.
And
Brutal.
the biggest difference is like in the arcade, you get a quarter and you can just keep going, but
Yeah,
here
you
you
just
got
keep
like
going.
3 lives and you're just
And
kind
then
of
it's game
fucked
over.
after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I found like so I guess I should say after that experience of playing at my mom's friend's kid's house or whatever the fuck on his Genesis, my next experience was at my auntie's, and I remember they got Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with Dash and Desperados, and
Ooh, good one.
yeah, it's so fun, and it's like it's a very fun game. It's very fun. I don't want to say co-op because I guess it's versus, but it's a very fun game that like not many people know about.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just like, oh my god, dude! More people need to play that game because it's a lot of fun. The single player is incredibly hard, so if you're gonna play it, definitely play it with like a friend or something. But basically, the premise of the game is it's 2 dudes and they want to like earn this girl, right? So they race
Okay.
to her.
Yep.
And then whoever gets there first gets the kiss or whatever, or she'll be like, "Get me a gift," and you gotta go all the way to the end of the level, grab the item, and then all the way back. And you can constantly like
Yeah.
throw weapons at each other, roll each other over, sabotage the level for each other, and it's just like
Yeah.
constantly.
But
like
you're
that.
playing the level co-op. It's like you're playing the level both at the same time, but you're playing it against each other.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It was a cool concept.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it's like a platformer. Like games like
Mhm.
that, you usually don't get as like I don't know, racing games or something. And it kind of is a racing game, but it's like a platformer racing game. It's super hard
Yeah.
to even narrow down what genre it fits into, but it's super good. I just remember playing it all the time with my cousin. And then that in Sonic the Hedgehog 2, of course. And I would just play it all the fucking time. And then basically, my auntie was like, wow, like he really likes this Genesis. And they ended up getting Dynamite Headdy as well, which is another really, really good Genesis game. But it's another one where it was like 10 times harder. I recently played the Japanese version, and I can get way further. But I was able to get pretty far into the North American version. Like I could get pretty far into it. Never beat it. But it was another really good one. It was made by the guys that made like Gunstar Heroes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
the quality is definitely there. And basically you hit these like things with your head and you get power-ups. And so like your head can be like a hammer, and then you throw your head and it like hits things harder, knocks things off. Or you can get
The vacuum.
Yeah, the vacuum was like my favorite. And he's just like whoop, and like everything like gets sucked into his mouth and stuff.
I remember you were streaming that. I think it was on New Year's, and it was like the vacuum. And you're like, I always thought these things were popcorn.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like the little dust that goes into his mouth.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I thought it was popcorn that he was like sucking back. But that's another like great game. And then my cousins, I think, wanted a Super Nintendo. So I think what happened was my auntie sold my parents the Genesis, and so that she could put that money towards buying her kids a Super Nintendo. Because I still had an NES up until like the Super Nintendo was like well out. Like the Super Nintendo they got was like the Donkey Kong Country bundle. So
they got like that's a 96 bundle. So
yeah.
that's even.
So that's
the OG console with Super Mario World would have been 1994.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so that's when I got my Genesis, was when they got their Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And I remember I was like, because it was like from Santa, right? It was like Christmas time, and I was like, oh, these are like all the games Auntie has, and my mom's like, yeah, Santa must have known that these are the games you liked, and then all of a sudden my auntie didn't have a Genesis anymore, right? So I was like, so stupid. But man, I played the shit out of Sonic 2. Like, Sonic 2 is probably the one game that Sonic 2 and like Mega Man 6 are the two games probably that I played the most in my life. Like, I could just sit down, play through the whole game, no problems at all with those two. And it just takes such joy.
I'm just laughing because you're like, oh, so I have to even copy my save files over. What a nice guy.
Fuck, that's funny.
Yeah, Sonic 2 is phenomenal. It's funny because, like I said, I'm kind of returning to Genesis, right? And so I grabbed these games and I've been playing these. Well, in the downtime when I haven't been playing these, I set that up. I've got a spare room downstairs here, and my kids, the one day the internet was down, like God forbid the internet goes down, children can't survive anymore.
Yeah,
and
no
so I was like, well, here, I got something you guys can do. And I set up Sonic 2 on that TV. Well, they sat there, and my oldest, and it's funny because as a kid, I could not beat, I still, even as an adult, I have trouble beating Chemical Plant Zone, right? I'm not a guy who's really good at Sonic 2, right? That's never been my
but
thing.
You don't know all the little sneaky,
if you're playing it completely blind and you don't know the path and you don't know how to do stuff. No. And so anyway, she got past Chemical Plant Zone, like almost on her first try. She was on the next one where it's like you're in the, like there's the up version and the down, and you go below with the underwater.
Yeah.
And she's freaking running through that. And I was like, holy crap, kid, good for you. You're doing great at this. And they will ask, instead of doing like watching Netflix or Disney Plus or any of this other junk, they'll be like, hey, can we go play the Sonic game?
Yeah, really?
Absolutely. Let's go set that up for you.
Dude. That's got to be a proud dad moment right there.
So it's like there you go. So I mean, you know, a game is good if you can introduce it to a completely new generation of people who didn't grow up with it, have no sentimental attachment to it, don't know this game other than, I mean, the Sonic movie came out. That's why they know what Sonic is.
Yeah,
but the Sonic movie is nothing like the game.
Yeah, really.
Takes elements from it from a story point of view, but it has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah.
Right? And so to put that together and have them be like, this is fun, I want to keep playing it, that just speaks volumes to how good of a game and how well created it is, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think back to when I was a kid when I was playing this, it would have been around the same age. And for them to pick it up and play it the exact same way that I was, but be better at it than I was, apparently.
That's awesome.
It's rewarding, right? And so then it's like, okay, well, if you like that one, then here's some other ones that you might like as well.
Yeah, like I bet they'd like Rystar.
Rystar would be one that I was thinking about here as well.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so cool, and like I said, I think it just speaks volumes to how good that game is created, right?
Oh yeah.
We won't talk about where Sonic is now or where it was, and at least it's coming back up. But
it really is coming back up
at that point in time. Sonic 2, 1994, 1993, 92, whatever year it is that it came out in.
Yeah.
And like, just to think how many years have passed and that game still stands up as
Yeah.
a great game.
It's incredible. And it's
Yeah.
just like the physics, the music, the
This
stage
is well,
design,
everything about it,
the
everything.
charm,
Same
like the
across board.
characters. Oh man, they're so good. The black void water. I guess my green screen. That's awesome.
Black Void.
Drink the void. X Death brand
right.
void drink. We yeah, we would play that all the time. And I think the best thing about Sonic 2 is if you have like an older kid that's doing really well, the younger kid can play as Tails, and if they die, it's fine. They just come right back. They can help out as much. Like the amount of times me and my cousin have cheesed the bosses when I was younger by having Tails go into the danger and like attack and hit the boss to beat the bosses for me when I was a kid.
Tails just comes back.
Yeah, because Tails just comes back. It's such a good game, man. And I don't know if you saw the trailer for the new one that's going to be coming out. Have you seen that or not?
I
think it's like
I haven't actually seen the trailer. I have seen that it's coming out.
I think it's called Sonic
and it does look
Superstars, I think.
Something like that, yeah. It's hard for me to tell whether or not a game's a mobile game at this point in time, though.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because I'll be like,
I don't think it
scrolling,
is.
I'll be on
I think it's
Facebook or
couch
something,
co-op,
and it'll come up,
so-
and I'm like, man, they're doing another mobile game. But I mean, that's really cool. I hope that it does really well, because Sonic went to a really dark place there for a little while.
I think Frontiers kind of brought it back. Frontiers was
And the
really
movies,
good.
I think, have
the movies.
reinvigorated the series, right?
Yeah.
Because people those movies were awesome.
Yeah, they were
Those
really
movies
good.
were so well done. And I'm so glad that they and I made a point to go and watch. I know we're kind of on a Sonic tangent
Yeah,
here,
that's
but
okay.
that's fine. I made a point specifically to go and watch that movie in the theater, the first one, because the animators were like, "Hey, we hear you. This
Yeah,
thing
they
isn't
changed.
good.
They put all that extra work in to
We're going
redo the
to go
characters."
back. We'll redo it completely, and then go from there." And they made it. They did right by that. And I figure, look, if they're willing to do that, I will give you my $12 for a movie ticket.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because I think that should be rewarded, and that bet paid off like hand over fist, because
absolutely.
the first one did good, the second one did great, and
Yeah.
I mean, whatever they're going to do with the third one, right? So
Yeah, it was so good. But back onto, I guess, that new game coming out.
Yeah.
So what it is it's more in the classic style, but
Okay.
it's 4-player co-op. It's gonna be.
Oh,
So you'll
that's
have
interesting.
so far the characters they've announced is Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy. And my niece
yeah,
loves Amy, and she's always
Amy-
upset because you
Amy's a
can
good
never
pick.
play as Amy, right?
That's
She's always
right,
in
yeah.
them, but you can't play as her.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to play that with her because she really
That's
liked
awesome.
Sonic Mania.
I was thinking they're going to include something dumb like freaking Silver or
Yeah,
Shadow.
yeah, I can see
Right.
them. I hope they bring like Ray the Flying Squirrel, because he was in Sonic Mania Plus.
Yeah.
And same with Mighty the Armadillo. I hope they bring those
Or
into
what's
Superstars.
about what's the bat?
Rouge, no.
Rouge. Rouge and Big.
Yeah,
And,
Big would be nice. I don't know
Big
how
would
you'd
be
make
good.
Big work in that game. I fucking love Big the cat. People hate him. So many people hate him. He's just a big dude that loves fishing. And he's got his pet frog, man. How do you hate that? But
Some
anyways,
people just they have hate in their heart, I guess. I
yeah,
don't know.
evil people out there hate Big the cat.
So the Sonic series is 100. Well, how could you talk about Genesis without talking about the Sonic series,
absolutely.
right? And the other thing was, like, when Sonic and Knuckles came out, that was an innovation too, because it was like, here's a completely new game in Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah,
As
standalone.
well, if you'd like to play Sonic 2 with Knuckles,
you
just
can hook
put
that
your
up.
cartridge on top here, baby.
Yep, and
Like,
you could
that
do
was just-
Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is the full version. Like they put the levels in like the way they're supposed to be to tell the story correctly. So you've got
Yep.
Sonic 3, which is standalone. You've got Sonic and Knuckles, which is standalone. Connect them, and you've got the full game. There's extra levels. There's extra boss fights. It's
Yeah.
an incredible game. I definitely, if your kids ever start getting bored of Sonic 2, definitely show them Sonic and Knuckles, because that game like blew my mind as a kid, and I didn't
Oh,
own
yeah.
it. I did not own Sonic
No
Sonic
way.
3 or Sonic 3 and Knuckles till I was an adult. I would rent Sonic 3 like almost every single weekend. I don't know why my parents never bought it for me, because you know when like your parents are going away or something, so they get like
Yep.
a babysitter, so you can rent a game if you want for the
Yeah.
weekend.
And that was
Every
the
single
one.
time it was Sonic
No
3.
kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's
That's
so
impressive.
good, dude. Like that's where like Knuckles shows up.
I don't think I've ever actually played it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well-
I've played Sonic 2, and I think I've played Sonic 1 maybe once or twice, but I don't remember ever playing Sonic and Knuckles or Sonic 3. I've seen them,
yeah.
but I don't think I've ever actually played them.
Yeah, you got to play. What we'll do one time is we'll play Sonic 2 together. Like, I wonder if we can set it up because you know how like we're on Discord, how we have like my screen here and yours over here. I
Yeah.
wonder if we can do that with like my gameplay here and yours over here.
Yep.
And then I can show you all the tricks and help you get through so you can beat Sonic 2, because Sonic 3 takes place immediately after Sonic 2. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Something happens where they're like falling out of the sky, and then as they land, that's when Sonic 3 and Knuckles starts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Neat.
so good, man. And the story, without a lick of dialogue, the storytelling in Sonic 3 and Knuckles is so well done as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's great.
absolutely. Got to check that out.
But other games that I was big on the Genesis, like I said, Dynamite Headdy, Streets of Rage was one that I played all the time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Me and your younger brother, actually, my mom was out of town, and you know how at like Halloween you got to stay home to hand out like the candy and shit. And my mom was out of town, so she was like, "Is it okay if you hand out the candy this year?" So I was like, "Okay." And your younger brother came over, and I hooked up my TV and the Genesis in the porch. And we had like the bowl of candy, and we played through Streets of Rage like twice that night, just like handing out candy and stuff. That game is just so good. NBA Jam, that was on both
That's solid, too.
both
Tournament
consoles.
edition.
Yep, but fuck me, is that a good game? And
50
then
plus from downtown.
he's on fire. What's another one I freaking played? Oh god.
Hyperstone Heist?
Hyperstone Heist. I used to rent that one. That was another one that I didn't own until I was older. I used to rent Hyperstone Heist all the time, and I
Yeah.
still prefer it over Turtles in Time. But
I
I
was
think
going to say, I'm the exact opposite. Turtles
Yeah,
in Time, baby.
I think it's nostalgia making me choose Hyperstone.
Well, it's basically the same game, but it is different.
It is different.
There's some core differences.
From a story standpoint, Hyperstone Heist is definitely the better game. I think
It's the better story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, it makes the most sense because Turtles in Time just kind of jumps all over the damn
Yeah.
place. But
Yeah. But man, I'm trying to think. Oh, Zombies Ate My Neighbors and
Oh, yeah.
Shadowrun. Shadowrun is like this, I guess, Western RPG that takes place in like this cyberpunk world, and it kind of plays like, you know, like the early Grand Theft Auto games, like the top-down, like Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2. It's kind of like that, but there's like no vehicles and stuff, obviously. But
yeah, Shadowrun's kind of like a CRPG, like what we've been doing with Baldur's Gate and stuff. Like it's Shadowrun has a
Tabletop.
RPG system. It's a tabletop game that was converted into a video game.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be phenomenal. I haven't played it. I have the remake or the returns or whatever it was that
Is
they
that-
did. I
Is
have
that the
new
one on, like, it's on PS4 and stuff like that?
Yeah, they did the Abomination on the Xbox 360 or whatever
the
it was.
first-person shooter one.
And then they sold the rights, and the original owner bought them back or something like that.
I think
And
so,
he-
actually. Yep.
Something along those lines. And then he released a game called Shadowrun Returns or Shadowrun Remake.
Yeah, and there's like
Something
3
like
newer
that.
ones.
Yeah, there's a few now.
Yeah,
but
but they're
basically what he did was he
Tactical
like took.
RPGs instead of...
Yeah, they're not like the old ones. But what he did was he took away from what they were doing with it, and they put it back to the way that it used to be. So it's more of an RPG rather than a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that I have any at all interaction
Knowledge.
with, and I didn't even play those.
Yeah,
But
I
I've
haven't played
heard
those yet
really
either.
good things about the original Genesis ones. I also heard that the Genesis one is hard as hell.
It
I heard
is
it's not
it's
easy.
super hard. Not only is it hard, but it's like the world is so big that like you know in like it's kind of got like that Dragon Quest 2 thing going on
Mm-hmm.
where once you get access,
Such an open world.
yeah, once you get access to the taxi, which is pretty fucking early on, you've got like the entire city of Seattle plus like these other districts at your disposal, and you're trying to solve the mystery of your brother's murder. Your brother was killed on a mission, and you're trying to track down who did it and find out like all this stuff, and you end up finding your brother's best friend who ends up joining you. Like, it's such a good game, such a good story. There's so much you can do. Like, it's like one of the earliest best sandbox games, honestly. Like, you can go in, you can break into the prison and like kill all the officers in there and like do like a big prison break and free this one chick, and like there's so much stuff you can do. There's haunted mansions and stuff, and you can kill like gargoyles, vampires in there. But the name, the title Shadowrun, what that is a Shadowrun is actually like a job. Like, so there's these guys that work at like bars and stuff, and they'll hire you for shadow runs, and they're like, okay, go and assassinate this guy, or I have a friend that needs escorted through here, or I need you to steal a package from this corporation. So you like break into their megaplex building, and you have to find this package, this like processor or something. Plus you can like hack into cyberspace, and there's like a whole sub game in cyberspace too. Like, it's so good, and it's like,
It's in depth, right?
it is. It's almost too in depth. Like, I've never beaten it because there's just so much going on, so much you can do, and it's really good. But it's a game that I've always been like, man, I should stream this, but I don't think I'll ever be able to finish it because there's just so much to do. But that's just how I am with like Western RPGs in general, though. Like, there's always like so much to do, like all the time.
Yeah, and that's usually those games I fall off from, right? Like,
Always,
I
always
need
do.
to be, I really need to be guided with the old games, because they hung their hopes a lot on like you talking to somebody, them telling you a hint, and then you leave. But for the way the gaming is now, like, I forget that the second I walk away from
Yeah, same.
like, and so then I find that I'm writing stuff down, but then I'm writing stuff down and I go back through my notes and I'm like, well, who said this? And what did this
or
mean?
what is and is not important, right?
Yeah.
At least with
So
Snatcher, like that game Snatcher, it's like there's a lot of dialogue, but it's you can tell kind of what's important.
Right.
Whereas
They make a point. There's an audio ping at some points too, right?
I don't remember if that one did it. I think Police Knots did do that though.
Maybe it was Police Nuts. Would it be like it was a flower?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Some of the games that I have played. So back in the day, Aladdin would have been on my list of games that I had played, because that was usually the demo game. You'd walk into Costco or
in the hotels. That's where I always played that one.
Yeah, Aladdin would be in there. Cool Spot was another one.
Oh yeah.
What was the other one? I was literally just thinking about it. Golden Axe. Golden Axe was really, really fun. And again, the arcade, what do you call it? The arcade
port kind of thing.
Ports. And then the last one that I was thinking about was Comic Zone. You ever played that one?
That game's fucking impossible, dude.
It's hard.
You punch guys and lose health for punching them.
My older brother loved that game. Comic Zone was like, that was his go-to.
Yeah.
Whenever we could get our hands on a Genesis, that game came with it. It was usually that game and Sonic 2. Usually would be the games that we would grab, right? And I was awful. I was absolutely awful at Comic Zone. But and I haven't really played it since I was a kid, but I do want to return it. And I had mentioned to you that, and you were like, you better be ready, because it's like next to impossible to actually beat.
So what Comic Zone, I watched a video on Comic Zone like a couple of years ago, and it was this guy, and he's like, Comic Zone is my favorite game of all time. And he's like, but the problem is most people play it like a beat 'em up, and it should be played like a puzzle game. And so so the designers were intending for it to be like almost like a puzzle game. And so that's why like you're supposed to like solve each panel by taking as little damage as possible, and like it's so weird, but
interesting.
But anyone playing it or looking at it, it looks like,
well, of course you can walk in and do a beat 'em up.
Yeah, beat dudes up. But even like, because you have to like the concept of the game is fucking incredible. Like
everything about it, the art, like the whole thing where he's drawing you in, and he's erasing stuff. That was just that. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
No, and still since I don't think either. Really,
no, not like that. I mean, there's elements and stuff in there, right? Like think like
Cuphead.
Smash Bros has Master Hand. Cuphead would be one.
Yeah,
there'd be different things where it's like that. But like for something like this, where it's like, I'm an artist. I've been sucked into my comic book.
Yeah,
and the only way forward is to like
get through
finish the comic book, right?
Yeah, and you have to like punch through the panels because like there's like the white borders. You have to break them down to get to the next panel, or you can like swing down to get to the one below and stuff.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea for a game, but that I did not survive very long.
No, it's so hard, I lost dude.
Very quickly. Yeah, fun though.
It is. It is a very fun game. Yeah. But other than that, like. Sonic, like the Genesis just had so many good games. You had like Gunstar Heroes. You had like
that's Finney's favorite.
Yeah, Finney's favorite game of all time, I think, is Gunstar Heroes. And Finney, every time Finney's like, "Let's play Gunstar Heroes," I'm like, "Okay," but literally you're the only one that's good enough to beat this game. And like I can stay with him through like maybe 3/4 of the game, and then he's just like carrying my ass or basically finishing it by himself. But it is a good game, but it's so hard.
It's very good.
Yeah. Oh, Fatal Fury! I think it was Fatal Fury 2. Ooh. I used to rent a lot on the Genesis
that was
as
a good
well.
One too.
Yeah, that was
That's the fighter, right?
Yeah, fighting game.
Yeah. Terry Bogard.
Yeah, Terry Bogard, Joe Higashi, Kim Kapowan, and stuff like that. The other thing was the Super NES was known for having Street Fighter, right? Like, and that was like the most popular arcade game
that was
at the time for a long time. And I remember when it came to the Genesis, like a few years later, like the Championship Edition, and just being so hyped because I'm like, because there was the whole rivalry, right, between Genesis and Super Nintendo.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I was like, haha, you guys have to use the shitty shoulder buttons for attacks because the Genesis had the 6-button controller that just worked so much better for fighting games, right? But we did have to wait like 2 years. So Street Fighter 2 was definitely a system seller because it was like way earlier on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But
the Championship Edition wasn't as good.
I think it's better.
The Special Championship Edition. I don't know. I own a copy of Special Championship Edition for my Genesis now.
Yeah,
and
I do too.
Bought it thinking it was not the first Street Fighter 2. What was the second one?
There's Turbo and like Hyper Fighting, I think.
Turbo, that was the one. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. That was what I thought this game was.
I think it
but this game is now 2
versions
ahead. It's not.
Oh,
it's different.
Past that. Yeah, you're right.
Correct. Yeah. So when I got this and booted it up, I thought it was going to be Turbo, and it was Special Championship Edition, which is fine. But some of the characters are switched out, right?
Well, and the palettes are like the colors and stuff are different.
Correct.
For a lot
it was a little bit different from there. So it's not that it's better or worse. It's still Street Fighter, right? Like, it's still a fighter game, and I suck at them. So my opinion on Street Fighter games literally means nothing. But
dude, do you remember? Do you remember when we had our website and we did a review of the Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD edition or whatever on PS3, and we were like, "This is shit. Just play the original. Like, why would you play this? The frame rate is awful. It's pretty much the exact same game." And everyone got so mad, like so all the fighting game community guys. It's like, look,
it's
dude.
Still our most seen review video. From
I think
that
it was, man, and people were just
2,500
raging.
views. Oh yeah, we really pissed the community off on that one.
Yeah.
Well, let me go on record by saying I hate Street Fighter. Street Fighter sucks. Come at me, bro.
And it was just like, I don't know. I didn't see much of a difference between that and like playing it on the Super Nintendo, honestly.
No.
So, and people were like, it's a completely different game. They rebalanced the hitboxes and the.
Yeah, if you can say anything you want, at a certain point, you're just re-releasing the same game just to make a couple extra bucks on the fans. And look, if that's your thing, man, that's good. I'm glad. I'm happy you found your thing.
But to a regular person, it's the same fucking game, man.
when I say Street Fighter sucks, it's because I'm not good at fighting games. So to me, they're not good. I don't enjoy those games. But I have friends, Adamantium NYC, for example.
Oh yeah, he's
Dude, that
God
guy
tier.
is fucking good at
Yeah.
Street Fighter. Like, I watch him play Street Fighter, and I'm like, I don't know how you're this good at this game. Because I've played this game before. I know what you're currently doing right now. I have no clue how you're pulling this off. Because my brain and my hands just do not work that way. And hey, kudos to anybody who is good at it.
It's
The newest one looks good. Apparently, the new one's supposed to be good.
6 does look good.
But
honestly, like, because I used to be like pretty fucking good at fighting games. Like, I used to do like tournaments and stuff when we lived in Regina.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But what it is it's so much time you have to put into like learning your
memorizing
combos
combinations.
And it's just
situational
it's not worth
awareness.
It. Yeah, it's not worth it because you're still gonna get chewed up online, and it's just I don't know.
Someone's always gonna be better than you.
Always, yeah, and it's not worth the amount of time like that you have to put into those games to be good at them now is like
those are rage-inducing games, right?
They really are, yeah.
Like it's just that boils your blood. That's I steer clear from fighting games, and you'll see anytime I'm playing fighting games, this is what I do. It's just a bunch of punching. That's it. That's all I do.
Remember when you got Street Fighter 4 on the 360 or something for your was it your birthday or something?
Birthday,
and we were all there, and it was like
my birthday.
And of course it was on the fucking 360 controller, so the D-pad is diarrhea.
Yeah.
And we're all like frustrated. And then Bob, your younger brother comes, and he plays a Zangief and just keeps hitting like R1 and doing the lariat, and it beats the whole game.
That was it. It was a one-shot kill. No problem.
He just kept spamming the fucking spinning lariat and beat the game. Fuck, that was funny.
Yeah, it was. I mean, but I mean, that was so. Genesis had Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat on the Genesis.
Everybody wanted Mortal Kombat on the Genesis because it had the blood, right?
Yeah, the gore
and the
factor
fatalities.
Was
there.
Yeah. And because they did have it on the Super Nintendo, but they took all the blood and gore and everything out of it.
Yeah.
So that would have been the other one. Final Fight. What other was there? Any other major fighting games on there, or was those kind of the main ones?
I'm trying to look. I have Art of Fighting, which is a shit game, by the way. Eternal Champions, which is like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And then Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. Both of those are pretty bad.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
It's funny because it almost seems like the Genesis never found its niche, right? Like the Super Nintendo was the place to go for JRPGs.
Yeah. Genesis was like platformers
sports
mostly.
Games.
And sports games, yeah. Platformers, beat 'em up, and sports games, and light gun games. There was a lot of light gun games, like Lethal Enforcers, stuff like that.
And they were fun too.
They were really good.
Justifier was the Genesis, right?
What's that?
Was it the Justifier for the Genesis?
There's the two Justifiers. There's also the Sega Menacer, which was like
the Menacer,
which was kind of like. Hold on, I have it right here.
With the rocket launcher.
Hold on.
Yeah, it was the light gun games for the Genesis were fun light gun games too. Oh yeah, look at that. I like that they have to put an orange circle at the front, like someone's gonna think
you're gonna think it's a real
gun. Right? Oh, he's got the rocket launcher! Get him!
Get him, boys! Call the artillery. Yeah, that was
the sports games on Genesis is one of the big reasons why I never really bothered with it, because it's just like. So many sports games.
Yeah, there's a new one every year.
So many.
I think it was like, was it like NHL 94 or something? Everyone was like, this is the best hockey game of all time.
Oh, man. Well, you'd hear that about everything, but then it got so bad so that it was like Madden, NFL. You'd have Madden, you'd have NFL, you had Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like there was like 12 different kinds of football games.
Yeah, so there's like 3 versions of the game coming out every year.
And it's like, man,
speaking of fighters on the Genesis, one of my favorite fighting games of all time, and I can't believe I forgot about it, World Heroes. You can't find that shit anywhere.
World Heroes, I don't know if I ever heard of that one.
It's so good. So what it is it's like think of like Mortal Kombat, but with like historical fighters.
Okay.
They legally like changed their names, but you've got like I think his name's like Dragon or something. Then that's Bruce Lee. That's who I always played as. And then
Okay.
you've got the two ninja guys, Hanzo and Fuma. And
Okay.
then there was like Joan of Arc was one of the players, Genghis Khan, Rasputin from like Russia and stuff.
Weird.
Yeah, and it's so good. And so what it is it's like this tournament of all the best fighters throughout time, and they need to save the world from this alien that's gonna like invade the planet. So you hold this tournament to see who's the best, and then you have to fight the alien at the end of the game. And god damn, I love that game. It wasn't until recently that I found out that they did make sequels. And you on the Switch, because you know how the Switch has like arcade games you can buy on their store.
Yep.
So I grabbed there's like 3 World Heroes games on there, and I grabbed
really?
them all. Yeah, they're all really good, but they're really fucking hard. Like even when you
Of
turn the
course.
difficulty down to 1, they're still pretty tough,
Still-
but they're really good.
Brutal. Well,
Yeah.
that's I'm glad. That's the thing about current day gaming is that they are catering to old people like us,
Mhm.
where it's like we know that the games you want to play are your old retro games. At the
Yeah.
very least, they're re-releasing them. Now it's annoying that they're re-releasing them and charging you an arm and a leg for them.
Yeah,
but in the
these
same
weren't
token,
bad.
too, on the Switch I feel better about it being on the Switch because at least with the Switch it's portable enough.
Yeah,
I'm just concerned with the longevity of the Switch, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's
that's
what
the
I'm
other thing
concerned
that
about
ends up
right
happening
now.
is they will retire the Switch as they did with the 3DS, for example.
yeah,
And then once you do that, you're done. Like
Yeah.
it's done. You can play this, but we're not opening the store. So if you lose this game, it's gone. You'll
Yeah.
never get it back.
yeah. That does suck. But it is nice that they're putting all these arcade games on the
Mhm.
Switch, because
Yeah, I
you
think
couldn't
that's
really
cool.
play those at home before, right? They have
Well,
a
it's-
lot of them on the PS4 as well, but
Yeah, it's opportunities to play a game that you would have never otherwise been able to get.
yeah, exactly.
Like-
And they're not super expensive. I think it's like $6 or something for an arcade
Right,
game on
yeah.
the Switch. So.
Pretty low key.
Yeah.
For the most part. The other something I want to talk about with the Genesis is the controller. I like the 3-button controller.
Yeah, I love the 3-button. I think I
A lot of
prefer
people
the
don't
6.
like the 3-button controller, and I don't know why. It's a really big controller, and I think that's why I like it. Because when I'm holding the 3-button controller, it just feels comfortable to me.
Yeah,
I've got
I like
a
it.
6. I've got a whatever it is that they sold the license to the Sega controllers, right?
Yeah, yeah. I
And
have a
so I've got-
Saturn one actually right here. It's a
Yeah, like
USB,
I've got-
but it's a
Right.
legit official.
And that's what I've got in my Genesis controller. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It says Sega. It's a legit controller, but
Yeah,
it's a
they just
6-button, and I
licensed it
couldn't
out.
get. Yeah, I couldn't get the 3-button controller.
Oh,
But
really?
This one here, yeah, they don't make it. They don't make it like this,
Oh.
I guess. Anyways, what I mean, but this one hurts my hands after a while.
It's smaller,
right? 'Cause
hey? It's weird.
It's smaller.
It's weird because
Yeah.
there's more buttons, but they made it smaller for some reason.
Yeah, and so I found that with the 3-button controller, it fit a lot nicer. A lot of people don't like the 3-button controller for some reason. I don't.
Yeah,
really
I don't know why. I do like it.
As far as it goes, the 3-button controller fits better to me, but the Super Nintendo controller is a better bang for your buck, like with the button layouts and the way it fits, etc. But I feel like the Genesis controller is the best, as long as you don't need more than 3 buttons.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
most games at that point in time
Didn't
only
really.
ever used the one anyways.
Yeah, like Sonic, there's 3 buttons and you only use they
All
all do
3
the
buttons
same
do the
thing.
same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
At the very best case scenario, for the most part, even racing games, it'd be like brake, gas.
Shift up.
You have 2 buttons. The 3rd button typically didn't do anything, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I know, like Contra, you would use one to like switch weapons, and then one was jump, one was shoot, basically.
But there was always an alternative. You could always like push like down an A or something like that.
Yeah,
and do
if
the
you
same
had
as that
to.
button or something, right? So
yeah,
it was always that always was weird to me. The other thing is that the Genesis that I have doesn't have AV cables. It only has the RF switch. Did they
Oh,
come with
weird.
AV cables?
okay.
Or was
No,
that a
they
buy
only came with
after?
like the coaxy.
yeah, the
one.
RF switch, right?
Yeah, that's all they came with. You had to buy it aftermarket.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I figured because the one that I have, it's just the RF switch. Because I went to go hook it up to my my capture
Elgato?
card,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, Apparently, I can't do that. So all of my Genesis stuff is currently locked in limbo permanently.
You can get them off like eBay for like dirt cheap usually.
Yeah, yeah. The thing is that the AV cables aren't so bad, but usually they want a lot of money for shipping.
Oh
Which
yeah, sometimes.
It's not like we're not talking. It's like $10 for the cable with $12 shipping.
Yeah,
and it's like if I'm gonna pay more in shipping than the cable, I don't want to buy it.
Yeah, I think the reason you like the 3-button is why I love the Saturn controller like the best. Because it's the same size as the Genesis one, but it's got 6. So you've got your big 3, right? And then you got your small 3.
Yeah. See, I've never used the Saturn controller before, but I'm positive that I would like that controller.
It's like my favorite controller ever.
Yeah. I'm positive that I would like it, and for that exact reason. It just looks like it would fit properly, right?
Yeah. And it's got the 2 shoulder buttons. So it's got
the shoulder buttons.
The 6 face and the 2 shoulder.
Exactly. So the beauty with the Genesis is that now I don't like Model 2 and Model 3 very much. Model 1 is the Genesis to me.
That really? Model 2 is the Genesis to me. That's the one I played the most. Yeah.
And Model 2 is the one that I own, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's just something about that original console. There's the way it looked, it
does have a good
lot.
Yeah.
They took a lot of time designing that console, making it look right. I get it. The Model 2, they had to do that for the Sega CD and the adapters and stuff that they were planning, because they don't work with the Model 1. You had to use an adapter.
They do, but it looks weird. Like the Sega CD, the model, I think it's the Model 1. The Sega CD, the Model 1 hangs off the edge of the Sega CD, kind of looks kind of weird.
And so I mean that's something that I thought too. I like the design of the Super Nintendo, but I've always thought the design of the Genesis, everything about the Genesis except the games, was always I like more than the Super Nintendo. The other thing with the Genesis is that the cartridges were always a little bit cheaper, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think they were too.
They were usually about $10 cheaper than any of the Nintendo cartridges as well, and I thought that was always a nice touch.
Yeah, and I would always get mine from the bargain shop. So I'd get them for $12 or something.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I've got everything that I own. Has been used and taken, at least when I got it, it's been taken care of.
Yeah.
We get it from some of those other shops. They kind of clean them up and stuff like that. But I've seen some pretty rough cartridges and stuff with the labels all ripped off. Yeah. I own a copy of the Spider-Man game for the Genesis. The one that's literally just called Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
The game or the cartridge or both?
The game. The cartridge is in decent condition, but man, that's not a good game. That's an awful game. I think that was an LGN, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, a lot of those Marvel ones were.
Yeah, just shovelware garbage games.
Like that Spider-Man Return of the Sinister Six on the NES. Did you ever play it?
I never played it.
Okay.
No, I just watched you play it.
You have to play it, because it doesn't even... Watching me play it doesn't even, you don't get the idea of how bad the controls are from just watching. You gotta play it sometime, because it's so bad.
So funny. Oh, man.
But yeah, as far as Genesis, man, I do not regret growing up with a Genesis.
No.
I absolutely loved every game I had. There were so many Shinobi games, so many great action platformers on the Genesis. My only thing was, the only shitty thing about me growing up with a Genesis was I went from the NES playing Dragon Warrior 4, RPGs, Final Fantasy to none. Because the Genesis has RPGs, but I didn't know about any of them. I never played. Obscure. Yeah, I think they were.
You've seen them stocked in the the shelves of the game stores around us.
I've never played, until recently, I've never played any of the Phantasy Star games and stuff like that, right? And and Shining Force, I think I remember renting Shining Force 1 or 2, and I did kind of like it, but it was a game that you needed to save and keep going, so when you're renting it, you're not going to like it as much, right?
Well, and they didn't even look like RPGs, right? When you looked at the box art for Phantasy Star, right? Think back to that time. There's no internet. There's no way of knowing what that game is without buying it, taking it home, or trying it. So
and I had Nintendo Power magazine, so I didn't know anything about any of the Sega games.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So you'd be taking a gamble, and if that's your one game and it
Yeah.
sucks, then tough, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I it makes sense why you wouldn't do that. I was gonna ask what now that you're at this point in time, you've played quite a few Genesis games. Thinking about what you have played, what do you think you would have liked as a kid? What do you wish you would have played as a kid if you would have been able to rewind time and give yourself that game?
On the Genesis?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just looking at my game shelf right now. I wish I wish I would have had Sonic 3 and Knuckles because I
Mm-hmm.
always rented Sonic 3 and I had beaten it, but I didn't have Sonic and Knuckles and I didn't have so I couldn't do Sonic 3 and Knuckles cuz like you weren't going to go to the game store and like rent two games so that you could
Right.
interlock them and play through the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
So Sonic 3 and Knuckles like blows my mind to this day how good the game is and how it tells its story. And it's something if I would have played that as a kid, I don't think I ever would have played anything else until I got my PS1, honestly.
No, for sure. Yeah, I mean obviously I didn't have a Genesis as a kid, so I mean I don't really have that point, but out of all the Genesis games that I've played, um and I have quite a few more to go, but I played a title called Arcus Odyssey, and that game was so freaking fun. It was like an RPG crossed with a platformer.
Okay.
Um it was a ton of fun. There was a story, it was back, and it was just a fun game to play, right?
Yeah.
Um, that one was really good, and it's stuff like that I like about the Genesis because it's still got some hidden gems that I've never
Oh,
heard of.
absolutely it does.
Where it's like, wow, that's a really good game. How have I never heard of this game before? But it's because like the library is like 750 games deep,
Yeah.
and 350 of them are sports games, right? Like
Yeah, so it's hard to find.
it's hard to find the good ones when they're mixed into all of the kind of fillerware kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, that's I don't know. I always liked the Genesis. I've always kind of thought I always wished I had one, right?
Yeah.
Like um I I I didn't really even own a console until like way later in life anyways, but I mean when I did get my Genesis that was like that I would have been a Genesis kid if given the choice.
Yeah.
If it was like, do you want this or that? I would have taken the Genesis. I'm pretty sure. Looking at the game
Especially
lineup,
as
the
a
type of
kid.
games I like to play as a kid,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that would have been my jam. Because and I remember anytime I ever went to a friend's house, anytime that I ever got my hands on that controller, it was always like, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. And with the Super Nintendo, I don't really have that as much. But then again, we had a Super Nintendo, so maybe I took it
Yeah.
for granted. I don't really
Yeah,
know.
and I think that happens too, right? You do definitely take it for granted. And I think with me I got both those feelings because my
Yeah.
auntie had the Genesis for a long time, right? Before I
Right,
had
yeah.
anything other
See,
than the Nintendo.
you were able to get your hands on it.
Yeah, but I was also that guy that was like, "Man, I wish I had a Genesis," but then I got one, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of got both. I got the like I wish I had a Super Nintendo, but I didn't get one. But I
Yeah.
wish I had a Genesis and I did get one. Kind of
Boom,
thing.
there it was.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And boom goes
Cool.
the dynamite.
Boom goes Dynamite. Well, this kind of turned into the Genesis episode, right? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and that's okay. We can save Super Nintendo,
for
the
the
next
next
one.
one. Yeah, I didn't think we'd
'Cause,
be able to go as fill a whole episode on the Genesis.
I mean, and the thing is too is I think my opinion of the Genesis is kind of muddied by my current opinion of the Genesis, right? Like
Yeah.
back then, I wouldn't be able to tell you squat about it, right? It
Yeah.
has Sonic on it. That would have been about the extent of it. But now, at this point in the time, I have played a good fair share of Genesis games and continue to do so. I've played a lot of stinkers. Batman
Yeah.
Forever is probably the
That
worst
is the
game
worst.
I've played.
I bought that when I was a kid, man, with my allowance. I was stuck with that shit for like 6
If
months.
anyone wants to play, we'll play.
Yeah. Did you play the fighting mode? There's like a fighting mode, and it plays like Mortal
Yeah, I went
Kombat.
back. It is well because it was made by Acclaim, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it was like, oh, so the same team that made Mortal Kombat made this then. But like, holy crap, what a terrible game!
It was
I-
awful, dude.
I got to. You want to know how I lost? How I lost the game? I didn't know how to jump down.
Yeah, you can't go down, and then
You
to
need to
figure out
climb
how to
down.
go up is fucking impossible
I
too.
figured out after enough monkeying around. I figured out how to shoot the grappling hook and go up, but I could not for the life of me figure out how to go down. And
Yeah,
apparently
dude.
there is a way to do it. I just didn't
I have
do it,
no
so.
idea. I have no idea.
Yep.
I just want to say I think it was Midway that made Mortal
Midway,
Kombat.
sorry,
Yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
Acclaim.
But
Yeah,
I don't
Midway.
know. I don't know if Midway made Batman or if they just like stole the fucking idea from him. But it was even like it was even what is it called when they do like take the photos to do
Yeah,
like how Mortal Kombat was.
It's like,
Yeah, yeah. It
right,
was
like that over exaggerated stun, right?
yeah. It's
It was
so
ridiculous.
dumb, man.
Yeah.
Remember that
Yeah.
wrestling game? There was a wrestling game that was like that. It was like
Uh,
WrestleMania Arcade or Super WrestleMania
Maybe
Arcade.
there was WrestleMania the arcade game and Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Royal
Those
Rumble
two
was
games were
different.
really good.
Yeah,
And then after that, it kind of blurs
there's
out
a
for
lot
me
of
because
shitty
there's
ones.
a lot of garbage.
Yeah. But I guess if we're gonna do this as the Genesis one, I do want to talk a little bit about the 32X and the Sega
Yeah.
CD.
Yeah, the add-ons.
Yeah, so the Sega CD I didn't really grow up with. Like, I didn't get a Sega CD or really play any Sega CD games until I was like probably like in my 20s. Because
Okay.
that's when I was like, I want to play Snatcher. Like, I was a huge Metal Gear fan, even since the NES. Like, me and my buddy Paul would play Metal Gear on the Nintendo all the time.
Right.
And there's the infamous story of Paul was staying at my house, and I would borrow Metal Gear all the time from him. And he was like, I've never beaten this game. I never got very far. And I was like, yeah, same here. And so we were having a sleepover, and it was super late at night. Like, when you're a kid, you just pull all-nighters, like, all the time.
Yep.
When you have friends over and stuff. Oh, excuse me, and stuff. And, and so he was over, and at the beginning, you can put in a password.
Okay.
And so I remember putting in Milky Boobs, because I was like 12, right? Milky Boobs, and then a bunch of like random shit in the password, and then I hit start, and normally it'll be like, this didn't work, or it'll take you back to the beginning with nothing, like as if you just started a new game.
Sure.
It started the game, and I had like, because I can't remember if it's stars or something, shows your rank of like what level or rank your character is. I was like 3 or rank 5 or something stars. I had a fucking machine gun and like all this cool shit. And me and Paul are like, oh my god, the Milky Boobs thing worked. Because we were just like making shit up because we couldn't get past like anything, right?
Right.
And yeah, we got to like blow through like parts of the game we had never experienced before because of this
awesome.
Milky Boobs password.
Milky Boobs.
Yep, it's all about the milkers.
That's
But yeah,
so funny.
I loved Kojima, and I'd played all the Metal Gear games at this point, like Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, all that. And I was like, Snatcher, like this game looks fucking incredible. And so that's how I ended up getting a Sega CD. I found Snatcher, and it came with this, like the Sega CD came with Snatcher. And I was like, well, I'm buying this. Like, there's no way I'm letting this go.
Right.
It was $175 for both. And I remember I got home, and that was when I lived in Regina, and we had just got a mini fridge.
Okay.
And so we had the box from the mini fridge still, like the big cardboard box that it came in. And I remember just sitting on the couch with the box next to me and writing all the clues and everything on the box. So I had like this almost entire refrigerator, like mini fridge box written in notes and stuff. And I was just like in the zone the whole time.
Yeah.
And played the shit
That's
out
a
of that
good
game.
game.
It's so good.
I haven't actually played it, but I have watched you. I think you had played it once, and I think I've seen you stream it twice.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so good, dude.
Very, very good game. It's funny with the Sega CD. That was the closest I ever came to owning a Sega console. My dad had gone to the city once, and he was in a shop. He was in this superstore, the real Canadian superstore. Back in the day when the people would wear rollerblades when they're ripping around the
Yeah, I
store
remember
in
you
there.
telling me that.
Yeah, and so he had, I don't even remember what he was there, but he was in the electronics department. And I remember he was there, and he was like, he came home, and he was like, oh, I almost bought you guys a Sega Genesis and Sega CD. And we're like, yeah, right, like, okay, just like, because he obviously didn't come home with one, so we're like, you're just kind of messing around. He's like, no, I was waiting in line, I was going to buy it for you, but nobody came up to the till, so I left.
No!
Was like, and we were like, yeah, whatever. And he's like, no, like, I was gonna buy it for you. I can prove it to you. It comes with a game called Sewer Shark.
Oh, that's a terrible game. I have it.
Absolutely. And so we were like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Tell me
Anyway,
your story.
a week or two later, we ended up going to the city We go. Yep, that's the one. We went to the city. We went to Superstore, and sure enough, on the shelf, there it is, the Sega Genesis Sega CD bundle with Sewer Shark. And we're
Oh.
like, "Well, there it is, Dad. Get it for us." And he's like, "No."
Oh, that sucks,
We're like,
dude.
so
I
the closest I ever got to owning that. If the clerk would have been there that day, he would have come home with that console. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
I
And then who
think
knows? Maybe I would have been a Sega kid after that.
I think and the weird thing was with like all those FMV games was back then like they're shit. Like
They're
there's
awful.
no
Oh, they're garbage.
sugarcoating it. They're absolute
Yeah.
shit. But back then it was like, "Oh my god, the graphics are so good.
Yeah.
It's like I'm playing a movie."
Yeah, movie like quality. I can't believe it.
Yeah, but like the gameplay is garbage.
Yeah.
But it blew our minds back then because that was when like everyone was just chasing graphics, right? Like that was the
Oh
thing.
yeah. Graphics was it.
Speaking of chasing graphics, though, yeah, I got Snatcher, Sega CD, blah blah blah. But the 32X, this was what really blew my mind. My cousin had a 32X, and he had Star Wars Arcade or Star
okay.
Wars 32X. And I remember
Yep.
going to his place. I think it was like Christmas time or whatever. We were visiting their place, and he was like, "Corey, check this out." And he fired it up, and like this was the first time I'd ever seen like polygon graphics, right?
Okay, yep.
Like I went from like Sonic the Hedgehog 2 to fucking
Yep.
like full
Very 2D.
3D like Star Destroyers shooting at my X-wing and stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is like the greatest game ever made." And I just remember like I had to have that, and I remember like I think it was like a couple years later I ended up like buying it, like saved up all my allowance because what happened was Sega basically cannibalized themselves because they were releasing the 32X and then the Saturn was like 2 months later, and then they lost their whole consumer base because they lost all the trust of the consumer. So I remember I think I bought my 32X for like $30, and then I got Star Wars Arcade, and I was like, holy shit, like this is incredible.
It was good. Well, the entire game library for the 32X is what, like 30
I think it's like
games?
12 games. Yeah, there's not
there's
very many.
a lot. There's very, very few games for the 32X. But they were all arcade quality games.
Yeah. And I wish
Doom was on 32X. That's probably the best console port they ever released.
that's my favorite, but I think they changed things in it, I think is what
did.
people say.
But compared to what it looked like on the console
Like
in
the
all
Super
other
Nintendo,
forms,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it
they're,
looks so
like,
much better.
so much.
It's
insane.
I have Doom 32X. I still have it like in the box. It's so it's my favorite version of Doom. And it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impressive what they could do with the 32X because it was
It is.
still on a cartridge, right? But I guess I always think discs are what you needed to do 3D, but the N64 technically had better graphics than the PS1 even, and it was on a cartridge.
The N64's 3D graphics always seemed really cartoony and polygonal for me.
I think so.
Where the PS1 didn't sugarcoat it. I think the PS1's graphics were better because they were masterful in the way that they would use a 2D background with 3D models.
Yeah.
And with the N64, it was 3D everything.
Yeah,
right?
that's
The
true.
environment was 3D. Everything was 3D. So when I play a game like Star Fox or F-Zero or anything on the 64, it's really, really hard to play those games, right? Because and like Mario 64, I haven't actually played yet. And Banjo-Kazooie, like all those platformers, they went really hardcore into all of these where it's like the camera angles weren't quite there yet.
Yeah.
The environment's 3D. Everything's really hard to judge. And I think from a literal graphic output point of view, yes, the 64 is better. But from a playability and the way that the games look point of view, I think the PS1 was way better.
That's a really good way of putting it, honestly. Because the N64 technically had better graphics, but as far as like pleasing to the eye and playability,
the way they used it wasn't ideal. If you play any of those PS1 games and you look at the 3D models, they are not very good.
No,
I think Final Fantasy VII with Cloud, with his horse hoof hands, right?
Yeah,
but. I mean, like, you think about it and how they meshed a 2D background with the 3D models, and all of a sudden you have a very, very good-looking game, right?
Yeah.
it's interesting,
You
and I
know,
mean, when we get to that point, we'll have a whole lot to talk about
yeah,
the
yeah.
PS1. I think.
You know what's fucking insane though? Is so Final Fantasy VII looks how it looks, right? Like that's just how the characters look and stuff. Final Fantasy VIII, they try to go for like the real look, but everything
They
looked like
tried harder.
super pointy and sharp.
And the face,
The faces are
faces,
like
man.
jolted and stuff, and the cutscenes they look fantastic, right? But in the in the game they look awful. But if you take say Final Fantasy VII's in-game graphics, and then 4 years later, only 4 years later, Final Fantasy X came out. Like holy shit, they could do so much with gaming and
insane
and like technology back then.
Yeah, it's insane to see the jumps from NES to SNES to N64 to GameCube to Wii to Wii U to Switch, and those short periods of times in between. Because when we hit on the Xbox and the PlayStation side of the house, right, PS1 to PS2 to PS3 to PS4 to PS5, the jump from 4 to 5 is
Not
almost
much.
Immeasurable, right? You can't really even tell.
Yeah,
it
like
is.
You can, but it's not to the point where like Super Nintendo to PS1.
Correct. It wasn't like the jump, like what you're saying, from Final Fantasy VII to Final Fantasy X.
Yeah,
it's such a short period of time.
I don't think we'll never get that again.
No, because we're getting to photorealistic kind of components of things, right? You play some of these newest games on the highest settings, and it's insane what they can do with the graphics.
Yeah.
But the downside is that we're at a point now where this is going to be a rant for console gaming. We're at a point for console gaming where they're basically you're neck and neck with buying a PC versus a console.
Yeah, and the price now too, unfortunately, right? The price is going
It's the reason why I haven't bought a PS5. I don't think I'm going to buy a PS5.
I haven't bought a PS5 because there's no fucking games for it yet.
Well, even if there was games for it, right? $700. That hurts.
Yeah, dude, that's brutal.
That's a lot of money to pay for a game console that's only going to be around for another 5 years.
Yeah, no shit.
Right? Like, and we haven't even started with the PS5 yet, right? Like, and it's already it's 3 years into its cycle, isn't it? It's 2020 that
I think
it dropped,
it probably
wasn't it?
is. Yeah, it probably is 3 years.
So I mean, to think about that. It's insane, right? By general kind of point of view, I would say 7 to 10 years at the very most you're going to get out of a console.
Yeah, PlayStation always tries to do 10, is what they go for.
And so we're 3 years in. That leaves you 7 if we go with 10 years.
Yeah,
that's $100 per year on that console.
Yeah, really.
And that's just the console. Yeah. You're not tacking in the $90
the games are like
$100
games now too. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just, I don't know. Console gaming's not for me, I don't think, anymore. And truth be told, PC gaming's not for me anymore either. I'm all in retro and indie games now. That's where I'm at
now too.
Yeah. I'll stay where it's safe.
Yeah, no shit.
But I mean, I don't know. To cap things off, Genesis was a fantastic console.
Absolutely.
Was it Sega's best performing console?
I think so, because the Master System didn't really, like, Nintendo was here and the Master System was like here, right? It didn't edge anything. It didn't edge the Nintendo out. It didn't edge the Super Nintendo out. Yeah. But the Genesis was selling better than the Super Nintendo
for a long time.
Yep.
Actually, I don't know if I don't know. Did Super Nintendo ever actually take that back again?
I don't know. I think it did, but I don't know if it did. But that's incredible having because Nintendo built up all that rapport, right? Like consumer trust, like all that stuff.
Oh, and
Genesis still managed to compete with it on a very 100%. High level.
And I truly think if Sega wouldn't have gone the route of Sega CD and 32X, because the problem with the Genesis is they dropped way earlier than the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, 89, right? I think.
Came out in 89.
Yeah.
Right, and it wasn't until 1991 that the Super Nintendo came out.
Yeah.
So you saw in 1991 the Super Nintendo came out. And so the Genesis was kind of petering out from what their technical capabilities, what they could do with that system. So it makes sense that they're trying to reinvent the wheel and make it so we're not going to make you buy a new system. We'll just give you an add-on for your existing one. But if they would have put that time and effort into the Saturn and released the Saturn 2 years before the PlayStation 1 and N64,
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
think they could have maintained their momentum,
Instead
right?
of the 32X or something.
Instead of the
Yeah.
32X, instead
Or
of the Sega
put all their
CD.
chips in the 32X and supported it. But
Right,
I think the best move would have been the Saturn. But it's such.
Yeah,
Sega
the problem with the 32X, I
cannibalized
think,
themselves so much.
yeah, I think Sega went and looked at what they were doing and went, we can't do cartridges anymore.
Yeah,
We
I
got to
think
be,
they panicked,
we gotta be
right?
on disc. They panicked and said, we got to be on disc like all the rest of these guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is, I mean, it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, it got us to where we are now. I mean, Sega's fucking knocking it out of the park now. Like you've
They're
got the
doing good.
Yakuza
They're doing good
series,
as
you've got-
developers.
Yeah, they really are. There's so
Yeah.
many good stuff coming from Sega,
Which is good to see. I mean, they could have folded and disappeared. Well, they did disappear for a little while there, but
Yeah, lick their
it's good to
wounds.
see them. Yeah, good to see.
But could
that
you
they
imagine if
came
we
back.
had a fucking so we've got Xbox, we've got PlayStation, we've got Nintendo. Could you imagine if we had a fourth fucking console we had to buy or something?
That's just it. I think that if Sega would have held on, the Dreamcast would have done really well.
Yeah,
If the Dreamcast
had a
would have had a
DVD
DVD
player.
player,
yeah,
I think it would have been a completely different story. And I really
think so,
think
too.
that at that point in time, if I had to wager a guess, because Microsoft didn't want to release their own console.
no,
wanted
they
to
would have
partner
teamed up with Sega,
And I think that's where they would have gone. I think they
Yeah.
would have looked with Sega and they would have doubled up, and then we would have had the Xbox, the Sega Xbox, right? Like
Yeah.
whatever it would have been.
yeah,
And
Sega
I
box.
think that would have really changed the game, because if you think about what Xbox brought to the table, and then have Sega dump, Sonic and all the other stuff, what they could have done.
Yeah,
in that
no
system.
shit as exclusives.
Yep.
Holy
I think
fuck!
that would have changed the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, and as much as I give kudos to the Genesis, and as much as I hate Xbox like avidly, kudos to fucking Xbox. Like
Yeah.
their first console, I don't know if they were neck and neck with the PS2, but they were fucking like here at least.
Oh yeah, it was
Like,
was
first
really
console.
close.
They,
Yeah, a
they,
lot of that
they
goes to Halo,
Yeah, but still, to be able to do that though, like they
100%.
smothered out Nintendo like completely.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the GameCube was nothing.
GameCube was a fart in the wind.
Yeah,
And it's too bad, because the GameCube actually did have some good games.
it did. Yeah, but
Um,
it got destroyed.
But it wasn't even close. Well, I mean, and I think it was that point that Nintendo realized that, hey, we can't keep up with these guys from a graphics point of view. Let's double down and focus on what people want from us, which is the Mario, the Zelda,
Or like fun
and then-
factor, like little
Fun
fun
factor, yeah.
games. Yeah,
and then look what happened then with the Wii, right? So,
yeah.
but yeah, no, it's interesting. I would have liked to see what would have happened with the Sega in the race.
Yeah.
And it's too bad, because if I had to guess, I would have said the Genesis was more popular than Nintendo, than the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Even
I
though
think they're
you
the
saw less
same.
of them,
Yeah.
they probably were. And by that point in time, right? Like by the time that the Sega CD started coming out, people started moving away.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
Donkey
That's
Kong
true.
Country came out, like you had said in your
Yeah.
story, right? Donkey Kong Country was a massive system seller.
Yeah, it was. Well,
Right?
the graphics in it too is like unlike
insane.
anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they were like, "Holy, we found our niche!" And then all of a sudden, then those RPGs started coming out. You had Chrono Trigger around that same time
Yeah,
frame.
Final Fantasy 2/4, Final
Yeah,
Fantasy
you
6.
would have also had Super Mario RPG around that time frame.
Yeah,
Like those late year
Lufia,
Killer Instinct
stuff like that. Oh yeah, Killer Instinct used the same graphics style as Donkey Kong, and that game was super popular. Ken Griffey Jr. Everybody had that. I think everybody that owned a Super Nintendo had Ken
So
Griffey
good.
Jr.
I love that. That we'll save those ones for the Super Nintendo podcast. I'm glad that this went the distance as it did, because the Genesis deserves it.
Same. I am glad. I didn't think we would have enough to go on just with you not having as much Genesis experience. So I think this turned out really well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for watching or listening. If you're listening on Spotify, you can always check out the visual version on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dukey03. If you're watching this on YouTube and you don't want to have a video having to load on your drive to work, you can always look us up, Relaxed Retro Talk on Spotify.
Yeah, subscribe to the podcast. It'll tell you when it comes out. You don't even have to look for it. It'll just say, "Hey, new episode coming out. Watch
New
these guys,
episode. Yep.
please."
And please do it. You can always find me. I think I'm live about 3 nights per week at twitch.tv/Dukey03. Says it just up here.
Yeah, and you can find me. So the nights that he's not on are the nights that I am on. So
Yeah.
you can check me out Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Twitch.tv/DG online, which probably is in this
You're
region.
Perfect.
Right here. Right here. You can't click this link.
Absolutely perfect.
But just take these letters and type them into your address bar and come check us out.
I'll put the links below. And I just want to shout out quick. I'm doing every year. I do. There's two big streams I always do. I always have a New Year stream and a Canada Day stream. So this year,
Canada Day's coming up.
For Canada Day stream, July 1st. I'll be playing through Dragon Quest 1 on the Super Famicom. I'm going to try and play through the whole thing in one sitting. It's going to be a little rough skis because we always have the alcoholic beverage channel points redemptions.
Is it ketchup chips and Caesars again?
I'm going to get Caesars, ketchup chips. I'm going to grab a couple 420 beers. So it's going to be a challenging experience, but we're going to try and do it.
Canada Day's always a fun time.
Absolutely.
Make sure you come and check that stream out.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I hope to see you guys next time.
So long.